Hello folks, welcome back. We are in the process of setting up our GitHub repositories accounts to secure our code. As part of that one, we have completed almost all steps except enabling SSH based authentication. For this one, each developer has to generate their SSH keys and share with me nothing but to DevOps engineer, so that I can enable SSH based authentication. For this one, there is a good document in GitHub. Let's go and have a look. Anyway, we have already seen that one. Quickly, I'm going to reuse the same document. All right, I'm searching for SSH with GitHub. Okay, and if you see here, connecting to GitHub with SSH, this is the document I'm looking. And if you see here, checking for existing SSH keys, not this one, generating new SSH keys and adding it to the SSH agent. So this is the option we need to use. Let me open it. All right. So to generate SSH keys, we can use SSH keygen and followed by these options. Rather than that one, SSH keygen also works. If you need more protection, you can go with this one, and also you can generate passwords. All this stuff you can do. In this case, we can run just SSH keygen. Okay, I'm going to execute this command on all developer systems. But if you do remember, we have already added our developer1 and developer2 keys. Developer1 nothing but my local laptop keys, as well as developer2 means the AWS instance which we created at the starting of this course. Now we need to do same thing for developer3 and developer4. So I'm going to developer3 system. So this is developer3 system, and execute SSH keygen, and nothing to provide over here, just give an oops, I have already created, I think. Anyway, I'm going to recreate it. Overwrite yes, and just give enter, so that it is going to generate new keys. I'm going to use those keys. So next thing, I need to copy these keys onto remote repository. Before that, let me generate keys for dev4 as well. Yes, here also I want to overwrite. Usually that you cannot see if you are creating it at first time. All right, now we have generated keys. Next thing, we need to add these to SSH agent. For this, we need to run this on all the systems. Oops, this is on dev4, similar way on dev3, even on dev2 as well. All right, next thing, in dev1 it is already enabled, so nothing to do over here. I don't want to touch this system. Next thing, we need to execute this one SSH add, so that it will get added our keys to our agent. So SSH add and SSH add. Okay. Next thing, we need to add our SSH keys to the GitHub account. That is quite simple. We just need to go to our GitHub account and go to settings. Here we have already added developer1 and developer2 system keys. Now we want to add developer3 and developer4 system keys. So this is developer3, and I will copy the developer3 system keys. For that, cat tilde nothing but home directory under home directory dot ssh idrsa dot pub. Okay, pub. So this key we need to add over there, so that it will enable SSH based authentication. So I'm adding it. So we have added developer3 keys. Next, developer4 keys. Same thing I'm going to do on developer4 system as well. So usually this information is provided by the independent developers, but here we are acting as a developers and as a DevOps engineer, so we need to take care. Now developer 1, 2, 3, 4, these users can able to check in onto my any repositories without any issues if those are not protected. Okay, all right, so I can say all these steps are completed except this one. This one we are going to deal when we are building our code. Next thing is, it's time to start developing the code as a developer. Now I can go and tell to my project manager that repository is ready. Now developers can start developing their code. let's assume that now project manager has allocated some tasks to the each developer. In this case, now let's take that developer 1 is taking care of the home page, nothing but landing page of your website, and developer 2 is taking care of the services which are provided by the car rental application, and developer 3 he is taking care of the cars, what kind of cars are available and the drivers are available or not, and in case is there any issue with the car, where they can go to garage, all this information he is taking care as a developer 3. And developer 4 he is going to take care of where the cars are available, how the customers can contact if they need these services. So this is how our project manager decided the tasks and it has been allocated to the respective developers. Now these developers has to start developing their code. Don't worry, I'm not going to write the code. We have already the similar kind of application. I'm going to use that application to demonstrate this example. But as a starting point, we need to clone the repository which we have created in our GitHub account, that is taxi rentals, right? So we are going to clone that repository. Let's go and clone that repository as a each developer. First, I'm going into the developer 1 system. So this is developer 1 system, and as you know, in this course I am working under projects folder. Even for this project also I am working in the same location. Under this one we have one more folder called Java projects. I am going inside, it is a project related one, so I am working here. And I have already source code for the taxi rental application. This is the taxi grabber application. So same code I am going to use. Instead of writing the code, I will just copy these files into the respective locations as a respective developers so that our work is easy. Okay. So now what I'm going to do, I'm cloning my repository over here. For that, I'm opening git bash and git clone. Let me take the repository URL. Let's go to repositories. And yeah, taxi booking, not taxi rentals. So I'm using SSH link. Why? Because we have enabled SSH based authentication, right? If I am using HTTPS link, then I need to provide credentials. Okay, so instead of that one, I'm using git URL. I mean to say SSH URL. So we are cloning the taxi booking application. It has been cloned, and if I go inside to taxi booking and git status, if I check, you can see nothing is there and we have only one file, that is readme. And git log, if I check, we have only one commit, that is the initial commit, while we were creating a readme file from the GitHub account itself. So same thing I need to do in the remaining all accounts. So same command I'm executing on developer 2 system first. So here we have cloned. Okay, where I am under root. Okay, I'm using for some other purpose as well, so you can see few other stuff. Anyway, that's okay. I'm going inside to taxi booking, and if I check readme file over here, same thing I'm going to clone from the other accounts or other developer systems as well. Okay, next here also I'm going to clone it. All right, we have cloned this repository onto all developer systems. Okay, we have car rentals, I'm removing it, and taxi booking. Okay, we have only one readme file. Even here also cd taxi booking. All right, so we have cloned our remote repository onto all developer system. Next thing, we need to start developing the code that we are going to see in the next lecture. Thanks for watching and see you there.